It's all well and good flying through space, but there's something that spaceships can't do well, and that's rolling around the surface of a planet, picking up supplies and invading settlements. For a start, most ships land on their legs rather than wheels, so the rolling around bit is kinda difficult. As for invading settlements, ship weapons won't lock onto that one trooper who starts taking pot shots at you, and personal weapons are surprisingly powerful against ships. And if you try firing a limpet to pick up supplies, you're usually going to end up with a limpet that hits the dirt and explodes. So what's the alternative? I mean, invading settlements is easy, you just suit up in your finest suit, grab a firearm and go nuts, but for everything else there's MasterCard. Wait, no, that's wrong, for everything else there's an SRV. And this SRV is the oldest and arguably the most versatile of the two that we have available. This is the Scarab SRV. The Scarab hasn't been around all that long in the grand scheme of things. It was first manufactured by Vodel, a subsidiary of Core Dynamics, in 3301. I should add that despite Core Dynamics being a very much Federation-aligned corporation, Vodel remains neutral and independent from the various factions out there, at least that's what they claim. Whether behind the scenes they buff SRVs for the Federation and nerf them for the Empire is unknown for now at least. The Scarab has a very utilitarian look to it, sporting only a single seat inside a bubble cockpit. Actually, is it a cockpit or cab in this case? Answers on a postcard please? It's got 6 wheels to help you get around the gnarliest of rocks, and if that doesn't work, you have some thrusters to give you enough lift to jump over the gnarly rocks. It very much looks like it's here to do a job and do that job well. Handling really does depend on the rock you've decided to take a spin on, but by standard it can do a blistering 38 meters per second, which translates to roughly 85 miles an hour, or if you come from a location where your units and measures make more sense, 136 kilometers per hour. Now bear in mind that a current day off-roader, for example a V8 powered Land Rover, can kick out 140 mile an hour plus. The Scarab might seem fairly puny, but I'd also wager that any modern day 4x4 would, well, frankly crap its axles on some of the terrain that the Scarab is meant to deal with. I will say though that the Scarab does get a bit skittish at high speed, where even the smallest rock can yeet you into a spin, into the air or into the nearest cliff face. But you can still make progress if you use the thrusters correctly and don't overdo the speed on rough terrain. For offensive capabilities, you've got a roof-mounted plasma repeater turret, which is decent enough for handling skimmers and the odd person that gets in the way. You've also got a secondary weapon against people, which is to essentially bring out your inner GTA or Halo driving skills and mow them down. Although even at full speed it does sometimes take a couple of hits to put a tyre tread on their still corpse. Defensive capabilities are handled with a shield, and while nothing groundbreaking under heavy fire, it does at least recharge quickly when all pips are put to the right setting. Although that does also mean that you won't be doing very much in the way of shooting because of how quickly the plasma turret drains the capacitor. Oddly, the shield doesn't help with bumps from recklessly ploughing your Scarab into the ground either, which is another incentive to drive carefully, but your armour will still take a decent number of knocks. For exploration and material gathering, you've got a handy wave scanner on the dashboard, which will highlight points of interest like potential materials to gather and ships. You've also got a cargo capacity of 4 tons, which isn't a lot, but it's the best that you can currently get in an SRV. If you're going heavy for material gathering, you probably want to keep your ship nearby for cargo transfers. I'm not going to say whether this is the best SRV or not, because we have a whopping choice of 2 potential candidates and they're both suited for different tasks. The Scarab is an all-rounder with a lean towards exploration, whereas the Scorpion is purely designed for kicking names and taking ass. Wait, no, that's the other way round. But this is the SRV that I'd wager most pilots keep about, if they keep any SRV about. And that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it as always, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. Until then, take care, much love, and 07. Thank you.